Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the podcast, Field Goals and Forecast, presented by Afterthought Sports, now on WSBU 88.3 FM, The Buzz. I'm Ryan Adio, alongside my great co-host, James Derrick, across the way from me on Zoom here. We're nearing Christmas, so we're on Christmas break. Most of the next couple of episodes will probably be this way, but it's just how it's got to be until I see James in person again, unfortunately. But we've got a lot of great football to talk about. Week 15 has just passed. And of course, the Bills win, so it's always more fun to talk about that. Let's start with the Bills, James. Let's get straight into it. The Bills overcome a 21-0 deficit to beat division rival New England Patriots, snapping the Patriots' 10-game winning streak and holding off their playoff clinching until probably next week. I mean, most likely. But yeah. They took a 24-7 deficit to halftime. I mean, brutal. At that point, I feel like people had almost given up. But, what were you thinking, James?
Honestly, at halftime, I hadn't given up yet. I was just thinking, how are we going to win this game? And in my head, I thought we have to play perfect. And, I not say we played perfect, but we were pretty darn close to it, and we pulled it out.
Yeah. So, but, I mean, what even changed at halftime? What could they have done better that somehow brought them back into this game? I mean, what did you see a difference in?
Well, I think it starts with just getting stops and getting momentum in some way, shape, or form. Again, everything seems to start with James Cook on the offensive side of the ball. So it's just when you can get him going, I think we do a good job at setting up those screen passes after that, faking a lot of action to James Cook. And then, but the big thing that comes to mind is first couple times the Patriots got the ball in the second half, Bills got stops, which we needed desperately because we hadn't been able to stop them at all for the entire first half.
Yeah, defense obviously going to step up. Specifically, Trey White had an interception on Drake May. He sacked, not Trey White, but we sacked Drake May 3 times, and the Bills had 35 minutes of possession time, while the Patriots only had 24 minutes and 39 seconds. And of course, there was only one field goal in this game, so a lot of offense. Josh Allen was 19 of 28, 193 yards, 3 touchdowns. James Cook had 22 carries for 107 yards and 2 touchdowns. Khalil Shakir had 65 yards on 5 receptions. The offense was booming. Defense was keeping up. But is this going to be a problem later on? I mean, we talk about it all the time. But, the defense consistently kind of gives up a lot of points. The offense has to keep us in games. Does that worry you at all?
Yes, it worries me against, contending teams. The Patriots, I don't know. Like I said, I thought we had to play perfect to get back in this game, and we pretty much did. I have no idea how we can just go into a halftime, make adjustments, and all of a sudden play that much better. I guess it gives me confidence in our coaching staff and their ability to mid-game diagnose the problems and make the adjustments that they need to make. But at the same time, in the playoff game, you don't have time to play terrible in the first half. And that's kind of just been what this team has done all season is play pretty bad in the first half and they were flashing that point differential margin in the second half of games a lot because the Bills constantly playing from behind. And, I guess for a good second half team, we're a good second half team, but you don't have that kind of time in the playoffs.
Yeah, no, fair enough. And the Bills are a different breed in the playoffs, but the defense has never been good no matter what, really. So, of course, Josh Allen breaks another record or whatever. He does it every week. I'll just read it out. He had 3,276 passing yards and 25 touchdown passes this season. Is the 4th player in NFL history with at least 3,000 passing yards and 25 touchdown passes in 6 of his first 8 career seasons. Pretty good.
I don't really get impressed anymore. Anytime I hear those stats, it's just kind of like, Josh has another one, you know,
pretty much.
Whatever.
And then on the other side, let's talk a bit about the Patriots here. Drake May, 14 of 23, 155 yards. He did have that interception and no touchdown passes. The big name here, TreVeyon Henderson, 14 carries, 150 yards, 2 touchdowns. And of course, just the explosive plays from him. Just one hit and he's gone. And that's just how it is. But of course, he was great on the ground. And there's no surprise Bills give up a lot of ground yards. I mean, it is what it is. But is he a possible rookie of the year candidate?
Yeah. Last couple of weeks, honestly, since Ramondre, had to take some time on the bench this season, and Henderson started to get his carries up. I think I actually looked before this. I believe he's now the favorite in a lot of rookie of the year
Yeah,
odds,
which is
which is crazy. I didn't
interesting.
anticipate he would already be a favorite up there. I imagine maybe top 3, top 5, but to see him as a favorite is still a little surprising to me. It has by no means been over the course of the entire season that he's
No,
done
I
this.
mean, Emeka Egbuka, I guess, was the beginning of the year, and then it kind of leaned toward Tet McMillan, and now it's maybe Henderson, but he's playing great. I mean, nothing you can say. But on the other side, MVP frontrunner, I don't think Drake May's up there anymore. I think he's definitely fallen off.
Yeah, and then this last game brings that out a little bit more. Honestly, even the one pick that Drake May threw, I don't think was that bad. It was really just an arm punt to Trey White. But I think we saw he's not going to carry the Patriots every game. And, I think this kind of just goes by the Patriots play style, the way they've been coached, honestly, for the past like 15, 20 years is they'll game plan for who they're playing. If the game plan is to run the ball, they're going to run the ball and they're going to do it effectively. And they did. And honestly, Drake May did a good job of taking care of the ball. The one interception, like I said, not too bad.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the offense played well on both sides, but I just don't think you can put him up there with the guys like Stafford right now. I just
No. I
it.
think like Stafford, especially too, he's going to make his mark on a game, pretty much no matter what. And there's going to be a time where, oh man, you just can't stop Matthew Stafford. You just can't do it.
Yeah.
I didn't feel that with Drake May as much.
Yeah. And now you're looking at a Burrow-less, Mahomes-less, probably Lamar-less playoffs. Is this the best chance for the Bills to make the Super Bowl? I mean, surely, right? It has to be.
Yes, I would say yes.
I feel like I ask this all the time, but it's just this is their year, and right now you beat the Patriots. You can maybe have a shot at the East still, but it's going to be uphill sledding.
Yeah.
I don't know. I this is the best shot they have for sure. And here's my fun stat of the day here. Since 1999, only 6 different quarterbacks have made the Super Bowl for the AFC. There has to be a new one this year. Do you think you can name all 6, James?
6 different since
6
2000
different quarterbacks since 1999. So basically,
since 1999, only 6 different quarterbacks.
6 different quarterbacks have come out of the AFC.
So like Brady, Mahomes has got to be 2 of them. No, I don't think I could get all 6.
Brady, Mahomes, Flacco's up there, Roethlisberger,
That's right.
And then Burrow and Peyton Manning, of course.
Wow. Okay.
So there has to be a new one this year.
For a while, it was just Manning and Brady just doing their thing.
Yeah. But I don't know who it's going to be, but there will be 7 after this season. We're going to get a weird kind of Super Bowl, but I love it. I love to see it. And then, of course, next week at the Cleveland Browns. Okay. I mean, it's the Browns. I mean, we tend to play down to our competition. We do have to win this one, but come on now. It's the Browns.
Yeah, it's the Browns, please. Come on, guys.
I'll take the Bills by 1 million. But let's move into our field goals of the week. And no, we're not talking about kicks. We're talking about the good, the no good, and the not even close. I mean, in other words, what went well this week and what just didn't. Let's start with the good, Fair enough to say. The Rams and the Broncos officially clinched the playoffs. They're the first 2 teams to clinch the playoffs. And the Broncos can actually clinch the first seed this week with a win and a couple of losses, but I won't get into that. Let's talk about, they're the top 2 teams in the AFC and the NFC. The Rams beat the Lions 41-34, offensive shootout in LA. Stafford was unbelievable, 368 yards, 2 touchdowns. He did have an interception early on. And then, of course, Kyron Williams, 2 touchdowns on the ground, 78 yards. Big fantasy performance from both of them. Puka Nacua, 181 yards on 9 receptions. That is his career high. Just a fantasy game overall, honestly. But Goff was 25 of 41, 338 yards, 3 touchdowns. You would think that's a winning stat line, but I guess not. Amon-Ra had 164 yards and 2 touchdowns. Same thing. I mean, the Rams are just so dominant. They're so dominant right now.
Yeah, I didn't anticipate that they would game plan well enough to genuinely stop this Lions running attack, and they did.
It stopped dead. I didn't put Gibbs's anything up here, but he had like 60 yards maybe.
Gibbs 13 carries, 38 yards, 20 receiving yards.
Yeah, all right.
He
so
actually,
somewhere around that. Yeah. That's still crazy. That's crazy numbers. And then, of course, the Broncos defeat the Packers. They did start off slow, but they ended up winning this one 34-26. Bo Nix, 23 of 34, 302 yards, 4 touchdowns. Crazy work from him. And then RJ Harvey, 19 carries, 65 yards, and a touchdown. Cortland Sutton was the leading receiver, 113 yards and a touchdown. Got a bit of an interesting question. Of the two teams here, Packers and Broncos, which quarterback would you rather have, Bo Nix or Jordan Love?
It's kind of a toss-up, but is it a hot take to say give me Bo Nix at this point?
I mean, Love is older, but not by much because
but not really by that much. Yeah. So
I don't know.
What I'm really trying to figure out is what is the hot take? Is there a hot take here, or is this a group?
They're
of
on
guys
a very similar level, at least in my mind.
Would you take either of them? And really flip a coin? Doesn't matter, or do you think it's a clear cut decision?
I think I'd rather have Jordan Love.
I definitely would like to see what Jordan Love does on the Broncos with that defense and honestly a better receiving core.
Yeah. Then again, Malik Willis came in and played well. So it is hard to say.
Difficult for sure.
But I think you could go either way. I feel like that's a fair question to ask. And then let's just hop into the no good. I mean, good for most people. Bad. Okay. Let me preface this. Kansas City is officially eliminated from the playoffs. Good. Patrick Mahomes tears his ACL and his LCL. No good. I think we can agree on that at least. He is out for the rest of the season and probably some of next year because that's a lot of ligaments in your knee that shouldn't really be torn. And of course, here's the comparison here. Both Brady and Mahomes tore their ACL in their 9th season. They both lost the Super Bowl the year before to an NFC East team, and they both had 3 rings at the time. So before we jump to any conclusions, let's keep that in mind.
Talk about the same career path so far. Holy
crazy stuff. But he did tear his ACL. I mean, he's going to be out for a while, and this Chiefs team is not nearly as good as the Patriots were probably ever. But of course, the Chargers defeated the Chiefs 16-13. I mean, are the Chargers legit Super Bowl contenders? Are they just a good playoff team? Like, what's up with them,
The Chargers just... The reason why sometimes people think they are a contender, and sometimes people just can't decide, like I am right now. Right now, I'm thinking, no, not right now. But that's only after watching this Chargers offense week in and week out. Sometimes they're clicking, firing on all cylinders, able to run the ball, able to push the ball downfield. And then other times you're like, Jesus, how hurt is Justin Herbert this week? Like, can he throw the football? And then, you get a couple of drops from Quentin Johnson and you're like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
I don't know if I can trust this team. They should be good enough to be genuine contenders, but I don't see it consistently, to the point where I can totally respect the Chargers as a contending team. I mean, can you?
No, they're not a Super Bowl contender by any means. I mean, they made it farther than the Chiefs. I guess that's something. They are just a wild card team in my mind, and Justin Herbert is a generational playoff choker. So it's a bit hard to say right now, but he was 19 of 29 in this game, 210 yards, touchdown, interception. Omarion didn't really get going, only had 61 yards, but it's the Chiefs defense. You can expect that. And of course, Oronde Gadsden, your guy, 4 receptions, 61 yards, led the team. But I want to talk more about the Chiefs. What do you think this means for the Chiefs? This is the first time they've been eliminated since 2014. They've got some old players on their roster. Kelsey, Andy Reid's quite old. Chris Jones is getting up there. Kelsey's got to retire after this year, surely, right?
Surely, right. He's not even going to have his boy Mahomes throwing to him. It's a start next year.
Yeah, don't mind me. I just got the party lights on.
No,
I don't know if you can really see it, but
no, I love the party lights. To be honest, I think it's awesome.
It's no good for Chiefs fans, but it's sure good for me. So I'm celebrating.
In terms of where they go, I don't think they need to, get a full scale rebuild. I think this team that they have currently is just a byproduct of, we won the Super Bowl. Let's make some minor changes, but ultimately just run it back.
Yeah, I hear that.
And that team failed. And you already won 3 Super Bowls with pretty much the same squad here. Overhaul, trade some guys, maybe some picks, and try to maintain your roster strength while getting some of the old guys out and some newer guys in. I think the Chiefs are probably going to be a team that's pretty good at that. I imagine they just retool this group, and in 1 or 2 years they'll be back at it again. I fully believe it.
They're sitting at 6 wins, I believe, right now. If they just lose out the rest of the season with Gardner Minshew, which, first of all, they have the Titans next week, so who knows what's going to happen there. But if they just lose the rest of the season out, they get a pretty good draft pick, all things considered. So that's where the rebuild start. Not the rebuild, but that's where the pieces start. You got to draft better than they have in previous drafts. And I think that's where it begins. But I don't think you're right. I don't think they go into rebuild mode yet. They're still going to be good, but they might take a few years off. Similar to like the Bengals right now. So
yeah, a few years off. They'll get some new guys in. I'm sure they'll be fine.
Yeah. But let's move into our not even close. Come on. Nobody wants to win the NFC South right now. It's just not happening. Both the Panthers and the Buccaneers lose. I almost combined them into one word, but both teams are 7-7. Technically the Bucs are still leading the division, but they play each other twice in the next 3 games now. Bucs just lost to the Falcons on Thursday Night Football. Last minute field goal. I don't know how you lose that game. The Falcons aren't even in it for anything. They don't have their pick. They're just coasting at this point with Kirk Cousins. Kirk, first of all, 30 of 44, 373 yards, 3 touchdowns, Buccaneer killer. Kyle Pitts, 11 receptions, 166 yards, 3 touchdowns, fantasy killer. And then, of course, Bijan, 19 carries, 93 yards, a touchdown. Anytime Kirk Cousins plays the Buccaneers, you go look back. He just plays extremely well. I don't know what it is, but he set the all-time Falcons passing yard record last time, so we should have seen something coming, but it is what it is. And then Baker, just not a bad performance, not a good performance, a very solid, like middle of the pack performance. You would have liked to see more out of Bucky Irving. He only had 60 yards. Mike Evans was just dogging on him all night, 132 yards as well. But what's the problem here for the Bucs? Is it Todd Bowles? They're not a legit team. Even if they make the playoffs, they're not going anywhere.
Yeah, they're kind of, I don't know. They've had their injury problems too, but
yeah, that's true.
Maybe it is Todd Bowles at this point. I feel like, I don't know. I wish I had my hand on some of these like first word reports around, coaching and how everyone feels in Tampa about their current situation. Maybe that's the one thing they can change up. Tampa's in a bad spot to be sitting in, riding that line between even making the playoffs and maybe being a team that has to reassess and retool like the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
They're in a bad spot right now. And you can't really say it's Baker's fault. They put all their chips in for him.
That's true. I don't think it's Baker's fault. No.
He hasn't played great, but that's not the sense that I'm getting from watching these games. I'm not watching this being like, oh, Baker is killing them right now. He's really the reason they suck. That's just not the vibe I've been getting from watching these games. Maybe you start to look towards coaching at this point. Maybe that's the difference that can be made.
I think it has to. You're really just towing the line, like you said, between mid and making the playoffs. And just, again, if you make the playoffs, you're not going anywhere. Even the Panthers, At least they have a better ceiling. At least they've beaten bigger teams. The Bucks have just been on the slide, and I don't know. But then again, the Panthers just lost by 2017 to the Saints. I mean, they both just lost to the Saints. I don't understand. Like, they allowed 10 points in the fourth quarter to Tyler Shuck and Chris Olave, which Olave is not bad, but Shuck has also been playing pretty well. But it's the Saints. How do you not beat this team?
I don't know. The Saints are are they wrecking everyone right now? And
do they not want a draft pick either? Like, you just what's up with that? Like, okay. All right, sure.
Tyler Shuck wants to make sure they don't draft his replacement.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, is Tyler Shuck the guy for them? Like, what?
Hey man, wait till we get to our fantasy starts and sits. All right.
We're getting there. We're close. Great game from both Young and Shuck. I think honestly, it just comes down to the fact that they both led their team in rushing, 49 and 32 yards, or 49 yards and 32 yards respectively. So there's just no running in this game. And now the Saints are on a 2-game win streak. Would you take the Panthers or the Bucks in the playoffs? Which one's better? I mean, they play each other next week, but which one is realistically better?
I've still got my faith in the Bucks, I think, simply because actually, I really, dude, this is like a crapshoot right now. I have no idea. So I think I'd go with the Bucks. I'd go with the Bucks, even though the Panthers have had some better wins. I still like the Bucks. I think they might have just slightly more continuity in the run game than the Panthers.
I guess so. Sure. We'll go with that. I picked the Panthers, but one of us will be right and one of us will whatever.
Exactly.
But that'll do it for our field goals of the week. Let's move into our extra point. We've got a little game here. Older or younger, James? Phillip Rivers edition.
Oh, okay.
I'll give you a player, and you tell me if they are older or younger than Phillip Rivers. Obviously, Phillip Rivers sitting at 44 years old. He was born on December 8th, 1981. And, he came back and played for the Colts for a little bit, almost beat the Seahawks. The defense just couldn't stop him. But now, which of these guys do you think is older or younger? Let's start with Greg Olsen.
Oh, Greg Olsen.
Now a commentator on Fox. So,
yes.
Keep that in mind.
Oh, Greg Olsen. He had a long NFL career, though. I just don't know if he retired closer to like 33 or like 36, because that changes,
That would change things.
I think this is just going to be a funny one where he's younger. I'm going to go younger because I feel like he at his position, he's going to retire just a little bit earlier. You can't retire at that 35 plus.
Yeah, he is younger. He's 40 years old, so 4 years younger.
He's a whole 4 years younger than him?
That's there's some big gaps here. Let's go with
barely.
LaDainian Tomlinson, LT, dominant running back. They played together.
Yeah, I know. Crap, I just trying to think about who was older then. And LT, he retired a little, way earlier as a running back too. Darn, don't make me say it. Is he younger than Phillip Rivers too?
He's older. He's older by 2 years. He's 46.
All right.
It happens. Steve Smith Sr. Another one of those guys.
He's got to be older, right, dude? Steve Smith, dude, he played till he was like old as hell.
No, he's older. He's also 46. He's the same age as LT.
Okay.
Antonio Gates.
Now this one's going to actually
also on the Chargers.
See, this is where I need to know my historic Chargers teams, but don't tell me Antonio Gates
might be a Hall of Famer. Maybe not at this point, but it's getting there.
I think if Antonio Gates is younger than Phillip Rivers, he's like 42 or 43. But I'm going to go older for Antonio Gates.
He's a year older. He's 45. He's 45. All right. Next one. Frank Gore. His son plays in the NFL.
He's got to be younger, but he is an old man, dude. Frank Gore is an old dude.
You're right. He is younger. He's 42.
42. Dude. it's kind of astonishing. I think he's trying to just rack up records at this point, playing at the length that he has.
Yeah, seriously. But next up is Larry Fitzgerald, generational wide receiver for the Cardinals.
I'm going to go younger. Tell me he's younger.
Yeah, he's younger. He's 42.
Okay. All right.
Julius Peppers was kind of in and out. He's a Hall of Fame candidate at this point.
Yeah. This is going to be like a surprising younger. So give me younger.
It's older. But he's only a year older. He's 45. He's barely older.
Man.
All right.
Julius Peppers. That's a name I haven't heard in a minute.
Yeah,
that's a
for real.
Name.
Honestly, doing this list, it was like a throwback. But Jason Witten, longtime tight end for the Cowboys.
Man.
Huge in the 2010s.
Yeah. You know what? I think he's younger.
He is younger. He's younger by 1 year. He's 43 years old. And then two more here. I got Jared Allen. He was just inducted into the Hall of Fame. Long time.
There is
linebacker,
no
I guess, for the Vikings.
Way he is young. Like he was just put into the Hall of Fame. He's got to be older than Phillip Rivers.
He is younger. He is 43. He's a year younger. And then final one here. Asante Samuel Sr. His son plays corner in the NFL. His son actually played for the Chargers for a while, which is...
Yeah, his son just recently switched up teams, though, didn't he? Where did he go to? I think he was released or something, signed by
someone. He had some health problems for a little bit.
Well, if he has a son in the NFL, I'm going to have to go older.
He is barely older.
Okay.
He's 44 years old, but he was born in January. So he gets the edge over Phillip Rivers. But that was Phillip Rivers, younger or older. I'm going to go through some other 44-year-olds just to put it into perspective. Eli Manning is 44. Andre Johnson is 44. Troy Polamalu is 44. Marshall Yanda is 44. Vince Wilfork is 44. Charles Tillman is 44 years old. They're all younger than Rivers, but just barely. Vince
Wilfork and Phillip Rivers don't look too different these days anyways.
That is true. That's a great point.
Phillip Rivers been eating, man. Holy cow.
Yeah, but that will do it for the extra point. Let's get into the fantasy starts and sits. I was 4-1 last week, 42-33 overall in my starts, 2-3 in the sits, 48-27 overall. Just start with the QB unless you want to read your record, but
no, we're not going to read my record overall. Okay. It's so mid.
You can go back and watch or whatever. I'm going to go against my intuition and my morals here and say start JJ McCarthy at the Giants. They give up the third most points to QBs, and JJ put up 23 last week. He tends to just play good against bad defenses. I mean, I feel like that's pretty normal.
I was in disbelief when I read JJ McCarthy under your starts, Ryan. I hope he disappoints you.
You know what? If he does, I will never say anything good again about him ever again. So
good to hear. Yeah. You know what? There's not that much pressure on my guy this week, but I think he still should go off because Trevor Lawrence just absolutely torched the Jets. Like I mentioned, they traded away everyone at the trade deadline. Their pass defense is getting scary bad. I think Tyler Shuck is going to be the next guy to rampage all over the Jets this week.
I was close to saying Shuck, but I just didn't want to take that risk, I guess. But let's go with wide receiver. Here's a guy that I have to start in the Afterthought League this week. It's Jaden Reed at Chicago. No Watson this week. Bears give up the third most points. He had 9 points and 10 points last 2 weeks, so he's got a high floor. Hopefully his ceiling is also high. I need him to drop like 20 at least. So
you're going to take a stab at a Green Bay wide receiver. Nice. It's always worth a shot.
On the IR for a while. So
yeah. I'm going to take a stab at Michael Wilson just because, Bam Knight done for the season.
Yeah.
Another running back for the Cardinals.
Marvin Harrison's just not playing, I guess.
Yeah. So. And you know what? It's Trey McBride and Michael Wilson show. So
yeah,
right along.
I'm going to give you another waiver wire pickup here. Audric Estime, or if he comes back, is it Devin Neal? For the Saints, any Saints running back against the Giants. They give up the second most points to running back, and those have all accumulated in the past 4 weeks. The Jets fired their defensive coordinator, and ETN just cooked them. So that's all I got.
I actually like that one. I think Estimate might actually be the better of the two. So I think
he did well last week.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Breece Hall against the Saints. Hall is coming off back-to-back bad weeks, but I see the Jets being in this game, and definitely enough for him to produce. So,
yeah, fair enough. I'm going to go with the tight end that scored 2 touchdowns last night on Monday, Darren Waller at Cincinnati. They give up the most points to tight end. He had 2 touchdowns, like I mentioned. He's a safety blanket, I guess, in Miami, and that's really it. I mean, he played well last week. I guess that's all I can really say. Miami just isn't very good.
I enjoy that one. I think Kobe Parkinson played really well last week as well. And
that's a good waiver wire pickup too.
Devontae Adams banged up. We saw, what is that, hamstring? I couldn't really see exactly what it was. If he's not going to be playing, Kobe Parkinson stock is up. He had 2 touchdowns, over 70 yards, plenty of targets. Lock him in.
Yeah. And then in my flex here, I have another tight end because tight ends have been doing well recently. I'm going to go with Kyle Pitts at Arizona. He dropped 45 last week and then 15 the 2 weeks before that. Please just give me some points. And then, of course, Arizona gives up the 5th most points to tight end. So I just need some points from him. So I'm hoping I can double the luck here.
Kirk loves Pitts.
He does.
Well, Woody Marks against Las Vegas, as long as he's playing, it should be. But
they said he could have came back in last week's game. They just didn't want him to.
Yeah. So as long as they don't do that again, good against Las Vegas. They're 25th in allowing scoring to running backs. Pretty successful for running backs against Las Vegas.
Then let's get into our sits. I'm going to start with QB. Always a risky one, but I'm going with Dak Prescott at the Chargers. They give it the 2nd least points to QB. Dallas is out of the playoffs. They have nothing to play for at this point. So,
I like that one a lot, actually. I'm going to say sit. I told you start him last week. Sit Trevor Lawrence against Denver, though. The Jets and the Broncos are very different. The Broncos are a lot better.
I thought the Jets and the Broncos were top 2 teams in the AFC.
That's all you get in terms of my analysis. That's all I know about football.
But let's get into wide receiver. Terry McLaurin at the Eagles. They give up the 6th least points to receivers. Washington just struggles, and Philadelphia defense is very good.
I'm going to go with Wan'Dale Robinson versus Minnesota. They've just been the best defense in the league, fantasy-wise, all year. So bad matchup for Wan'Dale.
Running back, I'm going with RJ Harvey at Jacksonville. He's solid running back, but Jacksonville gives up the 2nd least points to running backs, and I just think he's a willing sit if you have somebody else.
If you have someone else, I'd say go against Kyron Williams, still able to produce last week, but just with the amount of involvement from Blake Corum and the fact that they're playing a good Seattle run defense, I don't think you're going to see him put up 70 plus yards on only 15 carries or 11 carries, whatever he ends up getting. And it was almost an even split with him and Corum last week.
Yeah, this is what I expected when Corum was originally drafted, but now it's happening. And then at tight end, I'm going to sit Harold Fannin as well. He's been great for me in the flex, but at Buffalo, who gives the least amount of points to tight ends, just can't do it. You got to put him on the bench.
I say put Jake Ferguson on the bench against the Chargers. He's, coming off a dud last week. He's just been less involved with this offense as a whole and, not really playing for anything anymore. Yeah.
And then finally, our flex sit, I'm going to go with DeAndre Swift at Green Bay. They give it the 7th least points, but they've been very, very good in stopping the run all year. And Swift only had 63 yards last time they played the Packers.
Yeah, you're going to tell me I'm absolutely insane, but this is less of a sit and more of a temper expectations. Jonathan Taylor, since the entire league has found out about him, well, not found out about him, but adjusted.
For real, makes sense.
He hasn't produced in the last couple of weeks. I'm just going to say 14 points or less for Jonathan Taylor. Yeah, you're not going to sit him. He is the number 2 fantasy running back, but just know he just hasn't been there. San Fran's a team that while they don't do well against running backs, they're just good at game planning in general. Yeah. Great coaching staff. I think they're going to take him out of the game.
And it's going to be a battle between the top 2 running backs, top 2 players in fantasy. So, well, Josh Allen's up there now, but you know what I'm saying. It'll be a tough one. And then you just can't rely on him. You've relied on him all year. You kind of got to figure out the rest of your team now that it's playoffs. But that will do it for our fantasy starts and sits. Let's get into our forecasts for next week. Of course, we can't tell you the weather, but we can make some predictions for the next week of football. I am 55-45, 4-3 last week. James, you are 58-42, also 4-3 last week. We just kind of mixed up some picks there. And I'm catching up to you, so I'm going to make some irrational picks here. Thursday Night Football, Rams at Seahawks. I'm going with the Seahawks. That will be my first irrational pick.
Yeah, that's irrational. Give me the Rams.
Yeah, fair enough. Saturday, which there's some games on Saturday this week. Packers at Bears. I'm going to go with the Bears in this one. Again, some irrational picks, but I'm feeling it.
Back-to-back irrational picks from Ryan Adio. He wants me to win this thing over the course of the season. Give me the Packers. Come on.
1 p.m. We're going to disagree again. Chargers at Cowboys. Give me the Chargers. I don't know how you're saying Cowboys, but it's fine.
No, I just think the Cowboys, like as much as they don't have anything to play for, I think they're just still going to score. Like they will still just score the football. And I haven't seen the Chargers offense play very well.
Fair. Then at 4 p.m. we have Steelers Lions. That's a good one as well. But I got to go with the Lions. The Steelers aren't convincing to me.
Yeah, I'm going to go Lions as well.
And then Sunday Night Football, Patriots at Ravens. Could be an upset alert here, but I'm going to go with Patriots anyway.
Please, Ravens, help out Buffalo, beat the Patriots. But of course, the Patriots
more than that,
is who I have to win in this game.
Yeah. And then finally, Monday Night Football, 49ers at Colts. I'm going with the 49ers. Colts
it's just impossible to pick the Colts at this point, 49ers.
And then finally, our last segment here, the lock of the week. I'm 8-2. James, you're 9-1. I'm going to go with Texans over Raiders. If that somehow upsets Kenny Pickett, just cool, man. Cool.
Yeah. If you can dice up the Texans, I honestly would sign up to see that. But
yeah,
for the first time ever, I'm going to go with the Bills in my lock of the week. I think
risky.
Bills
it's
over
risky business.
Brown. It is risky. It's crazy,
I agree with you as well there. But that will do it for our show. Thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you all next week. Go watch some football. Bye-bye.
Peace.